Hey salon owners, it's Jeannie Lee from Jeannie Lee Salon Education, and today I've got 8 tips for marketing your new salon on a budget. We were that salon that had to start on a mega budget. And when I say mega, I don't mean mega, I mean mega. Like it was a tight budget. So we definitely are familiar with how to start a salon and try to market it on a modest budget, I guess is a better way than a mega budget. Okay. So anyway, the first way to market your salon on a budget is definitely going to be make the most of your salon aesthetic. Make sure that if you're on a budget, no matter how modest or meager the salon atmosphere is, no matter how simple it is, you want to make the most of it by making sure that it's clean. That alone differentiate you between a salon down the street that's not really kept and not really, tidy. You want to make sure that it's clean. You make sure that there aren't smudges all over the front and back door. You want to make sure that whatever you have in your reception area, you want to make sure that it's clean and neat. You want to make sure that you're using cleaner to clean like armrests, things like that, so that the next person that sits down or anyone that sits down in the salon is not going to be seeing dirty handprints or some kid's chocolate bar that they put on. You want to make sure that your salon stays really clean. You want to keep the hair swept up. You want to keep the towels going. Having towels sitting all over, piled up on a station, or capes, draped over chairs, things like that, cutting capes draped over chairs. It does not send the message that like, oh, they're so busy, they haven't even had time to clean. No, it says they're nasty. It says they're dirty, and that's gross. I don't really want them to put that comb in my hair. So you want to make sure that no matter how simple and meager your salon decor is, you want to make sure that it's clean. That's going to stand out. You want to make sure that you pay attention to the restroom. Everybody's going to come in there. They're going to shut the door. They're going to be left alone for a few minutes. If it's clean, they're not going to notice anything about it. But if it's dirty, they're definitely going to notice. It's a smaller space, so they're going to either be sitting or standing. They're not going to have anything to do for a couple of seconds, and they're just going to be looking around, and they're going to notice if it's dirty. So you want to make sure that there aren't spots on the mirror, that the sink is cleaned out, that all the supplies have been kept up. So there's plenty of soap. There's paper towels for them to dry their hands on. There's toilet paper. We always make it a habit to keep extra toilet paper in sight of the client. So nobody wants to have to use the restroom and be worried that there might not be toilet paper. They want to make sure that there's going to be toilet paper. So you want to make sure that that's something that comforts a client when they come into your salon. Great way to market is to make sure that when they go to use the restroom, they have the supplies that they need. Another thing is to add plants. Plants are a really great, inexpensive way to make the salon experience, to level it up a little bit. Live plants, now you could do artificial ones. If you have live plants, they're going to help purify the air, which is going to be a great plus in the hair salon. But also they add color. It's a good neutral color, almost no matter what color palette you have. Live plants, greenery is going to look nice. It's going to clean the air, but it's also going to be life. So you want to make sure that you keep them alive. If you can't keep them alive, maybe go with the artificial. But if you can keep them alive, you need to keep them pruned. You don't want a lot of dead foliage on it. That's not going to send the right message. But to have live plants is a wonderful way to elevate the salon experience a little bit, the salon feel and the vibe, and also to purify the air. So it's like good on both fronts, okay? And that's also a marketing tip. Make sure that you're telling your clients, we keep these plants. We have the snake plants. We've got several of those throughout the salon because they do help purify the air. And we do use aerosols and perms and things like that that give an odor. So having plants is a wonderful bonus, and it's a plus, and it's something that you can actually tell to your clients, and that's a wonderful marketing tool. I mean, we don't think of it as marketing, but it is. when you're building trust in your salon. Okay, the other thing, speaking of scents and, perms and stinky things, you know how when you walk into a boutique and you can smell, like, that you're stepping into a bougie comfort type place? You know that you've stepped into another environment. So you could always have candles. So if you're trying to make a more chill spa-like kind of atmosphere, you could have more lavenders and calming type scents burning. If you're a more lively, vivacious type salon, you could always have more citrus or, vibrant type candles burning in the reception area so that when they walk in, they know they've walked into another place. Historically, hair products smell amazing. I think it's one reason why most of us even get into the hair industry, because our products smell so good. So there's going to be that. But I think there's something different when you have just like a really pretty soft hint of elegance, or a hint of, like I said, the citrus smells. It kind of like sets a vibe, and it distinguishes it from the outside world. So those are some ways that you can make sure that your salon, no matter what your decor, no matter how much money you've been able to spend or not spend on the decor, how you can make the salon experience really nice. Okay, so the second way that you can market your salon or grow your salon on a budget is to participate in town events or city events. That is a great way to start to get your name out there. Most towns, cities have, a chamber of commerce, or they have a Rotary Club or business clubs. So the cost, there may be a cost to those. Typically they're kind of low, not too expensive, but even if they are, you can usually pay overtime. Most of those they want more members, so they'll work with you on paying whatever the membership fee is. But it's so worth it, because they're going to give you, either text you or email you, a list of things that are going to be going on right outside your door, and that's going to bring people in and around. So somebody else is advertising, somebody else is getting the word out there. It doesn't cost you hardly anything, but by going ahead and paying that little, whatever the small fee is, joining those groups, you're going to get access to all of those events that are coming up. Most of them are going to be free. You can participate in some things that may be like a fall festival, where you actually have to pay a fee to go be a part. You could do glitter in the hair. You could do face painting, things like that aren't going to be expensive. So you would only have the cost of a booth maybe. But then most towns also do other events that are free. We have one called the Wassa Walk, and it doesn't cost anything. You just open our doors up and people come around. But we also have Treats on Main, and that's something where all the businesses on the main street get together and do trick-or-treating for the kids. So it's a super fun way to do. When you're doing this, you're not necessarily trying to build your clientele, but remember, we're marketing our new salon and we're trying to do it on a budget. What you're trying to do is get your name out there. You're trying to be seen. You're trying to get noticed. There was a book a long time ago called Guerrilla Marketing. And one of the things that stood out to me in this book was how many times a person has to actually see your name or hear it before it even clicks with them that they acknowledge seeing it. And then it has to do almost that same amount of time before it prompts them to say, I want to know more. And then a little bit more for them to actually act on it. So anytime that we can get our business in front of a lot of people, that's a good thing. You're trying to build that name recognition, the branding. We want them to be familiar with what our building looks like. We want them to be curious enough to look up our telephone number or our web address, to be able to book online. So anything that we can do to get ourselves noticed, seen, is going to be a good thing. So participating in town events is usually a really great economical way to get the word out there and to get your name recognition started. And one that's going to continually, you don't want to just do it in the beginning. You want to continually participate in these things because, like we said, the repetition of people in your town driving by, seeing your name, seeing you participate in things, supporting your community, that makes them want to support you back. So participating in town events is a wonderful way to market on a budget. So our third tip for marketing your salon on a budget is to try to partner with some other businesses in your area. Introduce yourself, especially if you don't know them, and ask if you can leave business cards, or if you can leave the rack cards. They're kind of like made out of cardstock, usually like this, and you set them down somewhere. Ask them if you can leave some information, even a one sheet, where it's just a sheet of paper and you have printed on there like what your services are and that you're new to the area and you can't wait to meet people. Most other businesses will be so excited that there's another business in their area, because that's good for everybody. They're more than willing to let you put information out in their reception area or into their kitchen, their back room where their staff goes and has lunch. Nobody that owns a business wants the next door business to be empty. They want activity on the street and they want activity in the area. So they're going to be tickled pink to help you out. The other thing is, a lot of business owners love to see you hustle. I love to see other people, getting excited about their business and sharing that with people. That's a cool thing. And most business owners enjoy watching that in other people too. So that's another reason to go partner up with these other businesses. Offer to carry some of their informational sheets in your reception area. It's going to be building a great relationship that hopefully will last through the years and benefit you both. Okay, our fourth tip for marketing your new salon on a budget is going to be do quality work. Do quality work. Do not skimp on your services that you're doing, especially as a new business who's trying to build a reputation. Don't skimp on your work. One of the things that I've seen happen before is blowouts. And I'm not talking about like a salon blowout because they're going to an event that's going to be outside and they've got to have their hair. I just mean like blow drying their hair, styling their hair. When people blow it out, and sometimes it still feels warm, but you kind of know because of your experience that it's not dry all the way. You let them leave, and what's going to happen when that moisture comes back, their hair's going to deflate and it's going to lose that beautiful fluffy hairstyle that you gave them. Our hair is a fabric. It does the same thing. You squeeze it, the water's out. You let it sit for just a few minutes, water's going to start coming out again. So you want to make sure that you keep your client comfortable. Like, we're doing quality work. So we're not skimping on a blow dry. We want to make sure that their hair's blow dry all the way so that when they leave the salon, it stays fluffy, it stays full like you intended for it to. So don't skip on the work. Also, make sure your client is comfortable. Make sure they have a dry towel around their neck. Make sure that if you squeeze their hair and it's sitting there, you go back and squeeze it again if they're having to wait a few minutes. Go the extra mile. It's just taking care of your client, doing quality work. Also, in quality work, reposition your client while you're cutting their hair. We all have clients who will start to hump down and you have to kind of keep putting them back up. It can be tempting to just say, never mind, I'm just cutting it where they are and I'm going to do the best I can. But we want to do quality work. We're trying to let people know that we're here and we're going to do great hair. Don't skimp on going ahead and saying, I'm going to pull your shoulders back just a little bit and have you sitting up really straight, and then explain to them why. I want to make sure that I cut the length right where you want it. And if you're leaning forward, I might think I'm cutting it at the right length, and when you lift up, it's shorter. So explain to them why it's imperative that they sit up straight. If you need their head to turn, whatever it is, position your client where you need them to be. If you need them to stand up, get them to do that. Do the things that you need to do to make sure that you're ensuring that you are doing quality work. That's going to be a great marketing tool, cost you zero. Zero. So do quality work. Okay, our fifth tip for marketing your new salon on a budget is to, in your consultations, we ask about, what's your desire, that kind of thing. You can get your team to ask, go through your consultation, but you can also ask, what are some of your problem areas? What are some of your challenges with your hair? This is a question that doesn't usually get asked. Most stylists aren't asking that. They want to know what you want today, that kind of thing. You are going to pick out and give the client an opportunity to show what their problem is, and then you get to come in and be the hero and solve that problem. So if it's fuzzy hair, you know a product that you can use. Or if they don't get volume, you know a drying technique or another product that they could use. You get to solve their problem by asking them if they have any challenges. So that's a great way to not only build a customer for years to come, but you're going to give them a reason to go tell somebody how their experience was at your salon. Cost you $0. Okay. All right. So our next tip in marketing your salon on a budget, the sixth tip is to ask your clients to tell their friends. You want people, if this client is really great, you're connecting with them, you're getting along great, ask them to tell their friends. You're a new salon. There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, yeah, tell your friends and neighbors about us. People aren't going to be offended. If these are great people, there's a good chance they're running with great people. And then you start filling up your salon with other great people. So jump on them. If they're wonderful, connection's good, communication is good, ask them. Tell your friends. Cost you $0. All right, our seventh tip is let your team camaraderie show. Let your team spirit show. If your team gets along really good, you've invested in them, y'all are trying to talk education with each other, everybody gets kind of fired up, everybody gets along, your clients see that. So let that show. Instead of it being stoic, you're with your client and you can't talk to anybody. We don't want to interrupt other conversations, but there's certainly an ease when somebody walks by. You want me to get that towel for you? Coming up and sweeping somebody else's hair, coming up and making a joke, coming up and complimenting another stylist client's hair. What a great job they're doing. Man, let your clients see the team camaraderie, the team spirit of everybody getting along, and they will comment on it. In our salon, we have so many great girls in here. They are the bomb. They are the reason this place is awesome. We have clients mention it all the time about how nice it is to come in and hear us all kind of getting along and working so well together. So let your clients see your team spirit or your team camaraderie. Going forward in the future, plan nights to go eat, plan luncheons, education. Make sure that you're spending some time together to keep that strong, because it absolutely will help market your salon and cost you $0. And now our last tip is reviews. Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yahoo reviews, Yelp reviews, all the reviews. Facebook is not going anywhere. Facebook is still very relevant. It's a great place for businesses to put out what they do. It's also a great place for community. It's a great place for you to showcase your work, to inform clients of special sales or things that you've got going on in the shop. It's a great place for that. Instagram, it's more of like a show and tell type kind of thing. We're just sort of showing you what we do. It doesn't really necessarily work on the reviews side so much. I mean, I guess people can comment and that can be bad. But as far as actual reviews, Facebook is still super relevant. We actually had our Facebook hacked a couple of years ago, and it was terrible trying to get back into it. We had somebody take it over and they were selling fruit from some weird country. I don't know. It was very weird. Well, during that experience, I realized that we got tons of business off of Google. So this mama started really nurturing our Google page. Now, don't go overboard, but if you will go on every once in a while and just post something, let them know that something's going on. Certainly, if anyone gives you a review, make sure that you like it, that you comment something back. I wouldn't do a canned answer myself. Try to comment something that's actually personal to that person. If they said something about a certain stylist, maybe you make another comment about the stylist. And then, so glad that you enjoyed your time with so-and-so. Let it be personal and not just, thank you for your review. Don't let it be cold like that. Let it be social, I guess. Let it be personal, let it be real and authentic. But I did realize that Google was carrying a lot and is a much more useful tool than I was ever giving it credit in the beginning. And so now realizing that those reviews mean a lot more to me. I also step back and think about it. You know, if somebody's in the area, they're looking up a hair salon, you want to make sure that when they go to that, because we're in the area, we're just pulling up whatever's close by, that your reviews are good. So we want to get those Google reviews. And a couple of ways that you can do that is just ask. You can have a barcode or the QR code set up around your salon on little pieces of paper that you just print off on the printer. Would love to know how your experience was today, that kind of thing. Those can be sitting around. When our Facebook page got hacked, it was bad because our reviews took a big hit. So we were like, okay, we've got to get these reviews back up. One of the ways that we did that, we did a giveaway. So we had the QR code up front, and if you left us a Google review, then you got your name put in a drawing, and then we did a giveaway. So it was really great. Most people don't mind doing it. We had them in the shop anyway. So it was a good way to ask for a review without being pushy. And it was a big win for us. Anyway, hope that really helps. I hope that is some good ideas on marketing your salon, costing you zero. So put down in the comments below if you've got some other ideas on marketing on a budget. And we will talk to you guys later. I'm Jenny Lee with Jenny Lee Salon Education.